Okay. The learning goal is I will solve a word problem with two unknowns. In this problem, we have the sales of Gizmo sports drinks at the local supermarket are currently 6,500 bottles per month. Since New Age refreshers were introduced, sales of Gizmo have been declining by 55 bottles per month. New Age currently sells 2,200 bottles per month, and its sales are increasing by 250 bottles per month. If these rates of change remain the same, in about how many months will the sales for both companies be the same? How many bottles will each company be selling at that time? So I went ahead and listed the steps here when you have a word problem. So the first step says, read and annotate the problems. Find the important information you will need to solve the problem by underlining and circling. So I know from reading this problem that there are two companies. There's Gizmo Sports Drinks and there's New Age Refreshers. Okay, those are the two companies. Now, they are telling me that Gizmo Sports Drinks currently sells $6,500 per month. So this is important information. And they are telling me that New Age currently sells 2,200 bottles per month. Now, there's some good news and some bad news. The good news is that the bad news is that Gizmo is declining, that meaning it's losing 55 bottles per month. Since it's declining, that means this is going to be a negative 55 bottles because it's declining. And New Age is increasing. That means this is going to be a positive 250 bottles per month. Okay, so the question here is, I think we have enough information, is if the rates remain unchanged, in about how many months will the sales for both companies be the same? So we want to know the time of sales. So we need to define X and Y. X being the number of months. And the other unknown is how many bottles will each company sell. So number of bottles. Okay, so we're going to have two equations. One is for Gizmo and the other one's for New Age, since these are the two companies. Okay, Gizmo we know is losing, so that's going to be Y equals negative 55 X. And they currently have 6,500 bottles. So this is how many they have right now, currently, and every month they're losing 55 bottles per month. Okay. So New Age is increasing, so that's going to be positive 250. It's growing. X plus they are starting with 2,200 bottles. Okay. Now from here I have my two equations. So there's my system, and I need to solve this system and I get to choose. I either do it by graphing, I create some tables, I use substitution, elimination. In this case, since both equations are in y equals mx plus b, I'm gonna choose equal values as my method. So I'm gonna set y equal to y. So that's gonna be negative 55x plus 6,500 equals to 250x plus 2,220. I want to get all my x's together, so I'm going to add 55x to both sides. So then that's going to be equal to 305x. So now I'm going to get rid of my units. So then that's going to be okay. That's what I have. So I'm going to divide by my coefficient so I can find the value of x. Whoops, that should be a 5. So x is about 14.10 approximately. It's like a long decimal, but as long as we write down 2 numbers after the decimal, we should be fine. So now we're going to choose the equation that looks easiest to us. I'm going to choose, which one should I choose? I'm going to choose the second equation. So y equals 250. I'm going to substitute my value of x here, plus 2,200. Let's do some side work. That's going to be 0. That's going to be 5. That's going to be 2. That's going to be 0. That's going to be 20, 8, 9, 10. It's going to be 0, 5, 2. So we get y equals 3,525 plus 2,200. That's going to be 5, 2, 7, and 5. Okay, what does this mean? This means that, therefore, Gizmo and New Age refreshers will have 5,725 bottles. And I know it's bottles because I said that earlier up here that Y was going to be bottles. So my Y is my bottles. Bottles in about 14.10 months. And 14.10 was my X value, so that's what I had defined earlier up here. So let's go over this fairly quickly. 1, define your variables. 2, well, first we read the problem. Then we define our variables based on the 2 things that you are looking for or the 2 unknowns. Then from reading the problem, you should be able to find the 2 equations, what you're starting with, what you're growing or shrinking by. Once you have your 2 equations, you have a decision to make. What method are you going to use? Substitution equals values, elimination, or graphing. Once you've made your choice on your method, you're going to go ahead and solve for both X and Y and answer the questions that were part of your problem. So in this case, you had 2 questions to answer. If these rates remain the same in about how many months, we said 14.10 months, will the sales for both companies be the same, and how many bottles, okay, will each company be selling at that time? So we answered that. Here's the number of bottles and how many months.